Hello ladies and gents, it's Spoony Pizzas here with another Pro Evolution Soccer 2018 video, and today I'm here to talk to you about the Data Pack 3.0 gameplay changes, and I'm going to give you my thoughts and impressions of what I believe is improved, some of the things I don't like or dislike. Yeah, so let's get straight into it. So first thing I want to talk to you about is the defending. This is just the gameplay of Data Pack 3 in the background, so I'm not actually specifically talking about the game. I'm just going to let this roll, and I do score an amazing goal in here, which is definitely worth checking out. So anyway, let's get straight into it. So the defending, I believe it's a lot easier to defend, and the reason for that is partly in the players seem to be more magnetized to the ball. When the ball's loose, the players seem more magnetized. There's a nice little super cancel finish there by Marcus Rashford. If you haven't seen my super cancel video, definitely check that out. But basically it just allows me to move away from the ball, just to draw the keeper out and then just tuck it in the other side. Okay, so yeah, the defending, it's a lot easier because the players appear more magnetized to the ball. So what I mean by that is when the ball's being played, without any need for super cancel or anything like that, the player will get stuck in straight away. You know, it's going to make it a lot easier for new players to get into the game. That's a good save by Romero. The next thing I noticed is that there's a greater variety in shooting, and I think that might be related to one of my negative points, which I will come on to later. But there seems to be a lot more variety in the types of shooting. I think it might sit here. No, not no. But anyway, yeah. So that's something to keep an eye out for. When I say greater variety, they seem to be taking. The shots seem to be a bit more unique, a bit different, and also the passing as well in this game. There's more misplaced passes. I've certainly made a lot more than I normally do. Like my stats for passing are usually in the 90s. Like I would say 80, 88 is the minimum, but in this game I made quite a lot of misplaced passes. So yeah, I was quite pleasantly surprised at that. They've nerfed the special controls, and that's also linked to a negative point that I'm going to come on to later. So the special controls is where you sort of do that jinking run. So they've nerfed that a little bit. It was a little bit overpowered, so that for me is a positive. So I'm going through all the positive first, and then I'll cover the negatives a bit later. So yeah, the special controls. If you noticed, probably in this video already by now, you've noticed Yola right on cue. The AI is so much more direct. You see how many long balls they're playing up to their front man? It's constant. They get the ball and it's like they launch it straight up there. Now this is Stoke, so maybe that's their way of playing. I don't think I set their tactics to that, but there seems to be a lot more long balls, and the AI is a lot more direct. But also when they get around your penalty area, they're a bit more varied than they used to be. So they're not just just getting the ball near your penalty area and doing the same attacks that they were before the patch. So there's more greater variety in their attacks, which is really good. My next point brings me on to greater disconnect between the player and the ball. Now I said there's a magnetism between when the ball is being contested, so when neither side has the ball, that your players will will go to the ball much better, and it's easier, like I said, it's easier to defend because of that. But there's also a greater disconnect between the player and the ball. So what I mean by that is when you've got the ball under control, it feels like it's very easy to lose the ball. So that is definitely something I've definitely noticed. Which which is good. I'm all for that because it's going to make it feel a lot more realistic. But in the same way that it sort of invites you to run with the ball more. The players seem to back off more, a bit like they used to in the demo. Don't know if you've played the demo, but you watch this little clip here. Look at them back off. They're just backing off on the skill. So yeah, there's a bit of the old demo coming back to the game here. So that's I think that's better. That there's greater disconnect between the player and the ball. So next up is the sort of negatives that I see in this game now. And the main one for me is the game is less responsive. When you've got the player there, on the PC is a massive difference. On the PS4, I mean there was always a delay, slight delay on the PC. Oh, look at that for a goal, by the way. There's the goal I was talking about. I'll just let that play through, and I'll continue discussing the negatives, because you just can't be negative when this happens. And that's what I was saying about the variety of shooting. I mean, I've scored like one overhead kick prior to today, and now I scored another. Bosh! Oh, what a goal that is! What a goal! I had to save it. Right. Back to the responsiveness. So yes, it is much less responsive than before. That includes on the PC as well as the PS4. I believe before the patch, the PC was always less responsive than the PS4 version, always, and that's why I always tended to play on the PS4. So now the delay on the PC is really noticeable, and on the PS4 it's noticeable, and I think it's the biggest gripe I have with this update. I don't feel like I'm completely in control of my players anymore because of this responsiveness, and that's pretty sad, really, because I'm a little bit disappointed by that. But then again, on the upside, it's going to make it easier to defend once again, because the strikers aren't going to be so nimble. So yeah, there's a bit of a trade-off there. The next negative in my firing line is the weaker foot frequency that they shoot with. Not so much, yeah, like I say, not so much with the passing, but with the shooting. I've put down here it's broken. It's not completely broken, but I have noticed when they've had it on their favoured foot. For like example, I had Lukaku. I was through on goal. He should have struck it with his favoured foot, which is his left foot, and he took it with his right. And I was so shocked that I thought, oh, maybe they've edited Lukaku and put his favoured foot as his right foot. But nope, it's still his left foot. So I was really, really shocked to see that. To be honest. So. And it's happened quite a lot as well. So I've put broken, but it's not broken. But it doesn't feel very good. But then, like I said earlier on, that could be the reason for the greater shot variety, because players are shooting slightly differently. There's obviously been some sort of formula being put into the game to add more variety to the shooting. But it's also had an impact on the frequency of the foot they shoot with. So yeah. And lastly, I feel like now it feels a bit more arcadey than a sim. Before it was sort of more leaning towards the sim side of a football game. Felt realistic, but now because it rewards you running with the ball more. And the way the AI just like long ball central. It's like it's more like I'm playing online than I was before, if that makes sense. The online game is completely different to how you play offline. So it's more sort of a bit like a basketball game, really. You have a shot, I'll have a shot. And that's the way I feel like the offline's gone now. It just feels more arcadey. Everything seems a little touch quicker than it used to be, maybe. Although I'm not sure that's fair, because I didn't notice that. So I'll retract that comment. But yeah, just like it's so direct. They get the ball, and it's just like it just rewards running with the ball. As soon as you get it, run with the ball and then attack. But you can see here they're a lot more varied in their attacks. I managed to block most of their things, most of their passes there. But look at how open that is. It was never that open before. So I was quite surprised about that. And that's pretty much it, ladies and gents. So I just want to go over some of the pros and cons and give you an overall summary of the game, or the gameplay changes. Okay, so to quickly recap, here's the pros. It's easier to defend, there's greater magnetism to the ball, improved shooting variety, the special controls jinking run has been nerfed, AI is more direct, a lot of long balls especially from the lower teams, greater variety in their attacking, and there's also a greater disconnect between the player and the ball. So that's the pros. And the cons: added weight to player movement, making it less responsive to control the actual player and the ball. And there's that little delay. I might do another video on this to show you sort of an old video and a video from today, just so you get an idea. But yeah, there's definitely that sort of delay, and I'll try and pull something together, maybe for tomorrow, to cover that off. Yeah, as I moaned about earlier, weaker foot frequency broken, feels more arcade-like than a sim. And overall, if the beta, demo, and Pro Evolution Soccer 6 had a baby, then this would be it. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Thanks for watching. This is Spoony Pizzas. Goodbye.
Hello, ladies and gents. This is Spoony Pizzas here with another Pro Evolution Soccer 2018 video. And today we will be talking about easy to defend.